All right, everybody. Welcome to the MAKTAN-FMA edition of How Do You Defend a Takedown While in a Stick Fighting Motion series. Today's edition, we will highlight a discussion with Sir Maurice Weathers, what his thoughts were, his perspective, and overall experience to his response to this topic. So welcome, Sir Maurice Weathers. Thank you for meeting up with me to discuss this experience. So first off, please provide a short background about yourself, your full name, where you're located, and what are your martial arts training disciplines.
Okay, first off, thank you, Guru Michael, for inviting me to do this. I mean, we've been friends for a long time, and we through Balintawak, and that friendship has just turned into a brotherhood. And I really appreciate the opportunity, man. So, my name is Maurice Weathers. Started my martial arts training back when I was like 30 years old, and so about 24 years I've been training in martial arts. Currently located in Atlanta, Georgia. And I still do stick fighting. I have a couple of students in Charlotte that I go back to Charlotte for, and I train with at least once a month. My background training has been, I started out in Shurinji Kempo under Grandmaster Erwin Carmichael, and I got my second degree black belt under Erwin Carmichael. And then I started taking Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I got to purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under Louis Togno, and he studied under a branch of the Gracie family. And one day, while I was on my quest to third degree black belt in Shurinji Kempo, this older gentleman with a pudgy little gut walks into the classroom, and he walks in with his student named Robert. And I'm like, not being disrespectful, but I'm like, what is this guy gonna do? I mean, what is it? Who is this guy, right? So at the time, I didn't know that his name was Grandmaster Bobby, and that he was going to get up there and put on a display that was going to just rock my world. And when he went into his Balintawak display and he finished, I knew right then and there I was going to be studying Balintawak. I knew that that was the next thing that I was going to be studying. And after I got my third degree in Shurinji Kempo, that's what I went. And I sought out Grandmaster, and Robert Clamper was my instructor, and he helped get me to completion of the art. So in 2012, I got my completion of the art certification in Balintawak.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I like the thoughts in there, and when you saw Grandmaster Bobby the first time, I love it, love it, love it. Yeah, it's like, what? But
I'm like, what is he gonna do? I mean, this guy's got a gut. What is he gonna do? Little did I know that his hands are deadly. His hands are dead. Don't let the little small gut fool you. He is the most handsomest guy in the room, and he's the most deadly. So all respect to Grandmaster.
We both know that, and we both respect Grandmaster Bobby Taboada. No doubt about that. And again, Sir Maurice, I know the brotherhood between us is long. It's a long journey for both of us and all that stuff. So with this topic, just a quick overview. What I'm about to share is a video clip of you and me during your level 6 test in Taboada Balintawak system in 2012. And I was actually surprised to see this in YouTube, because I did not know it was recorded until a couple of years back, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that's me, and wait a minute, that's Sir Maurice. So I would like to first if we could both take a look at the video clip together, then we'll start the discussion afterwards. So let me share you the video clip and see if I could share that short video clip. And I know, unfortunately, the audio might not be available. Hopefully I can share this at a separate time with just the video itself. Here it goes.
Oh my gosh. You guys are having fun with me. I think Michael and Elwin are going to come out and attack me.
Right. So here's our counter per counter.
Oh. There it goes. I can hear it.
So with that was
That was awesome. That's
that,
absolutely awesome.
that was one of the epic events. I know in the very beginning of that portion of it, I'm not quite sure if you're aware. I called out Elman, Guru Elman Kabutaj from Columbus, Ohio, and I asked him, it's like, hey, let's just change the pace here. So I asked him, go up there with me just for a second, just to see what his reaction was. But in overall, of that whole take, when I was about to do a counter for counter with you and Taboada Valentuak for your level 6 test, GM Bobby pre asked me if I could take you down. So I'm like, okay, I will take him down if I can. I'm not gonna, and then right there. I listened to the Grandmaster Bobby Taboada's suggestion for the quick takedown, and that happened in 2012 when you were doing your level test. And this is our point of discussion. So, first off, did you expect me to take you down?
I did not. And here's the reason why. You were also present at my level 3 test when we had it at Alex Ormaza's school when he was at a different location, but you were at my level 3 test.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that you and I played back and forth during that test, I mean, it made me feel like this was like a real fight. Like this was, like we were really going at it. We weren't just putting on an exhibition. We were really going at it.
Yeah.
And it made me have a really different appreciation for you and how seriously you take whether or not a student is proficient at that particular level. And I really appreciated how tough you put it on me because it just made me up my game. So when we got to the level 6 test, I'm expecting more of the same. Right? But I was not expecting to be taken down or even a takedown attempt because I'd never seen you do that before.
Right.
So when you went into that, the first thing I realized was that you had my stick and you were twisting it out of my hand, right? So I was doing my best to hold on to it, but then it got to a point where I couldn't hold on to it anymore. So I just had to let the stick go, right?
Right.
So after that, your mind goes to, okay, what do I do now? And before I could even get that thought out, what do I do now? Here you come in for the takedown. So now I'm like, oh my gosh, he's trying to take me to the ground, right? So now we're wrestling, but you have this extra advantage of a stick,
right?
So I'm like, okay, I need to protect myself from any swings. I mean, I know that we're on the edge of real and still playing, but the stick is still in play, right? And yes, and whether or not it's a mistake or an accident, an accident could happen. But thankfully, you were in great control of your stick, and I never got hit. But I still had to deal with the takedown. So because I had some years of wrestling in high school and followed it up with jiu-jitsu, it was no big deal to transition into, okay, now we're wrestling. Right. So now I got to keep myself from being taken down. And if I could get a dominant position on Guru Michael, then that's going to be even better. That's going to look great on me, right? First, he took my stick, and now I'm taking him down, and I'm taking control of the wrestling, right? So when we got to that point, and I realized that, okay, I think at first you were trying to get me in like a triangle, and then I sweep the leg, and then I was on top, and I was like, I got a dominant position. I'm here, right? Yeah. Now, considering that I'm still in jiu-jitsu and looking at it, I can see that, oh, I went too high. This is why he was able to flip me over. I went way too high, too fast, and I should have just settled down and postured up
the base,
and then took control of the position. That's what I should have did. But adrenaline kicked in. I got excited. I got too high, and then boom, now I'm on my back. Right? So I'm like, oh man, now I got to deal with this, right? Right. So now I'm thinking, okay, let me try to get him in a triangle. But everybody knows Guru Michael, your shoulders are just too big. I didn't have the right position to get my leg in position. And by the time I was almost there, that's when you had your stick behind my neck. So I was trying to get that pressure off my neck. And I'm like, oh boy,
Right.
You know what? It was so much fun because it was right on the edge
Mhm.
of real and safety. You know, we're
Right.
right there
Right.
at keeping it safe, but making it real as possible.
Right.
And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I always enjoy going on during the test with Guru Michael because I know we're gonna test that line. We're gonna push that line
Right.
between safety and reality. We're gonna
Right.
keep pushing it. And
Right.
I appreciate it, man. It was great.
All I know is that I give you props for controlling that initial takedown. I know a lot of things were going through my mind when I was trying to gain control for that takedown. But one thing I missed or completely missed out is that when we were doing the counter per counter, it's like, how can I control your stick? And I thought I was going to basically put the pressure in, but not really disarm you. But what really surprised me is that when you felt the content of like, oh, I'm gonna just basically disengage and go shoulder to shoulder with me. You basically evaded my takedown, right? My leg went out there. I tried to do that, and you just basically took full dominant position when we went down the ground, and that's where hustle and tussle comes into play. In my mindset, I just want to hold on to my stick because I could surely, in pure discipline, the FMA, I could use it for punyo or thrust and whatever. That's just my mindset of that. But I want to make sure I was also in control. But man, you got full control when we went down the ground, man. I was like, holy crap, this is great. I was like,
It was great.
my initial thought was that when I was in the ground, I was like, okay, maybe in combative stance, oh, maybe I could use the leverage of the stick to help myself up, but that will entail to having the stick in between us, and that could be potential safety issues. So I just said, trying to buck, and I think you went for that triangle, and I said, oh, opening, and that's the only way I could transition out of it. And
Right.
in my mindset, okay, well, let me hold him and do maybe a pressure on the back of your neck with safety as I pull you in closer to me. Because I was just like, this guy's not gonna go. I mean, I was lifting you up, man. You're not letting.
Yes. Right.
You were not.
Right.
I was like, oh, this guy's. We're gonna be in this position. I don't care if I'm in a dominant position. We're gonna be grappling to the end. And if I have, I think my only advantage was that it's like maybe if we continue in full mindset of combative strikes, I would have dropped you and just strike you. But in my mindset, like, I'm in a stalemate position because this is my brother, right? There's nobody's going to be getting hurt tonight. But yeah, that was definitely a heck of an experience, especially for a high experienced practitioner like yourself. Way to defend, way to evade, man. That was cool. A lot of for me, especially when you're saying you were going for the triangle. I wasn't even thinking about it. You were going for the triangle at that point. My mindset was like, I'm going to bucket you. I just want to make sure I get you off me. I want to be in that dominant position. And when you went for that, I didn't know it was a triangle that you're going for. I saw that opening, and maybe that's what. And you're right, adrenaline kicks in, and I think that's one of the biggest questions I have for you is that when that adrenaline kicks in, did you revert back to just, hey, I'm going to grapple. I'm just going to, go with the roll, go with the position when we were doing this?
Yeah. So and I think to answer your question, I think with martial artists, with us, there is, after so many years of training, you build this level of basically survival mode, right?
Right.
Where just natural instincts kick in and you just start doing what feels natural. Bruce Lee once said this, and I really took this to heart. And I was in Enter the Dragon, man. That's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, mine too.
His instructor asked him, what's the highest level of technique you hope to achieve? And he said, to have no technique. Right. So at that point, when the stick was gone, there is no technique. It's survival. Survive. Whatever Guru Michael threw at me, don't get caught, get out of it, try to get and maintain a dominant position until Grandmaster says stop. Right. And then if something else is thrown at you, try to work your way out of that.
Right.
So that's why I always place high value on learning stand up, learning grappling, learning a weapon.
Right.
Yes. Because of course in any fight, it's easier to start out with a weapon. What do you do when the weapon is gone?
Yes.
when you got your hands,
for
right?
position, what do you do? I mean, I'm not quite sure. I know the video was probably muted for this discussion point, but if anybody likes to see it on YouTube, there was people cheering in the background, right? They were loud. I'll be honest with you, when you and I were in that stick grappling position and how you're defending yourself during a stick fighting, takedown while you're in a stick fighting position, I did not hear any of those guys yell at me.
Nope. I didn't hear any of that. Yep. I was fully in the moment
Exactly.
with you.
Yep.
And it was fun, man. I enjoyed it. I still have fond memories of it today.
No doubt. It was a blast, no doubt about that. And I think that's one of the things also that, when you defended and controlled that dominant position and evaded that takedown, and you're saying what comes to, and basically assess that is basically on your own experience, right? You said
Yes.
you're doing this for such a long time that it's almost like a reflexive response to your sense, right?
Yes.
Now
you are building in muscle memory.
Yeah.
And it just kicks in.
And I think your ground experience showed that, right? I mean, that just basically showed up, and that was pretty cool. That was really cool. So
it
yeah,
was.
one of the best moments in that scenario when you went through that level test, and I was fortunate enough to share the mat with you, and we did that surprise session for. My question to you is like, how did you defend that takedown while in a stick fighting motion, man? And I was like, I saw that video that I just shared, and I saw that's like, man, you hold your ground, man. That was pretty good. That's really good. I was very, very impressed, and as always, man, highly I have the man. It's always been an honor, joining you in the journey of FMA and being in the mat with you and learning FMA disciplines and training Tabuada Balintawak. So, and I just want to hear your thoughts about what that one clip in moment in time when you and I were trying to assess what can you do, or how do you defend a takedown while in a stick fighting motion? Because again, that mindset is that I have a weapon, but I'm going to get taken down. What kicked in? And thank you for responding to those questions and having this short discussion. I mean, it was a blast. Let me tell you, that was a blast.
It was, and I look forward. I always look forward to the next time, man. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Oh, it will be a surprise. I'm not going to share you my surprises. I know how you operate, brother. Oh,
absolutely.
Well, again, sir, Sir Maurice, as always, has been honors to share the FMA discipline with you. Yes. Thank you for your time. This is just a short discussion on this the MAKTAN FMA edition of How Do You Defend a Takedown While in a Stick Fighting Motion series. And if anyone would like to reach out to you, how can they contact you? Can you provide your email and other ways to contact you, such as a social media platform, or do you have a website?
Okay, so my email address is moerece@gmail.com, or they can just call me direct or leave me a text at 704-763-7845. Those videos you can find on YouTube under Maurice Weathers Balintawak level 6 test, something like that.
Nice.
And what else do I have? Oh, I also have a Instagram account, and it's just Mo Weathers. So it's MOEWEATHERS. And there are clips there, and you can always reach me through instant messaging, DMs that way. But yeah, anybody can reach me anytime they want. Like I said, I'm down here in Atlanta. If anybody wants to come down here and train.
Fantastic. Well, again, thank you, sir, for meeting up for this short discussion. I really appreciate it. And
yes, sir.
Hopefully I'll see you in the next camp if you're planning to be there.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. All right, Guru Michael. Thank you.
Take care, sir. You have a good day.
All right, man. Take care. Bye.